quote I read this morning in the hashtag Rise and Grind planner, and the quote said this. It was submitted by a woman by the name of Suzanne Waugh. So Suzanne Waugh, all of our quotes in the hashtag Rise and Grind planner, every single quote that's in that thing is submitted by a Rise and Grind member. And so Suzanne Waugh, she submitted today's quote. And today's quote says, "If you stumble, make it part of the dance." Man, when I read that quote this morning, it just put a smile on my face. I mean, how many times have we stumbled? Have we tripped? Have we fallen? How many times as we move through this journey, as we move through this life, have we scraped a knee? Have we skinned our cheek? Like, how many times have we stumbled? And I love the imagery that comes to mind when she says, if you stumble, make it a part of the dance, like it's a part of the overall choreography, like it was supposed to happen. You fall down, you roll, and you hop back up, and you keep on keeping on. That's the way we should be doing life. And when we do life that way, it ultimately makes an impact on all the people around us. And that's what we're talking about this week on hashtag Rise and Grind is next generation impact. How do our actions today ultimately make an impact tomorrow? So let's dive in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts. Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it will ever be Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Hey, do me a favor. I can always tell when our big friends at FB are kind of messing around with their algorithms and making the show sometimes difficult or hard to find, not sending out notifications. I'm sure you've experienced that before. Looks like this morning might be one of those mornings. So if you would, right now, right out the gate, if there's someone that you know typically watches hashtag Rise and Grind, you usually see them popping into the room, they may be having a hard time finding it right now. So do me a huge favor, just go ahead and tag them in the comments right now. Just put their name in the comments, be like, yo, bro, we're hanging out over here. I would greatly appreciate it. There we go. We're starting to see the numbers go up now. Just want to make sure everybody can find the show. Listen, we are going to start today a little bit different. All right, typically what we'll do here on hashtag Rise and Grind, we'll dive right in, we'll go into a message, so on and so forth, motivation, education, inspiration. This is episode 823, right? We've been doing this for a little while, but I want to do something a little bit different today. Here's what I want to do. I want to engage with you this morning. I need you to do an experiment with me. Okay. Yeah. Tamika says she never got a notification. Yeah. Sometimes Facebook is just weird. Don't worry about it. Just tag a friend. Let's get everybody in here. All right, we're going to start today a little bit different. So pay attention. If you're normally just kind of listening in the background, that kind of thing, that's cool. I just need you to do this experiment with me real quick. It's super important. You don't do this part of the experiment, the whole rest of the show doesn't make sense. All right, so do this experiment with me, whether you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Clubhouse, you're watching on YouTube, you're listening to the podcast, don't care. Want you to join me this morning. All right, I want you to think about your last 4 or 5 social media posts. All right, go ahead and take some time right now. I want you to think about your last 4 or 5 social media posts that you've made, whatever platform that is. Maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Snapchat, maybe it's TikTok, right? Wherever it is, I want you to just think about the last 4 or 5 posts that you've made. Now, don't go scrolling through trying to find it or something might kick you back out of the room here on Facebook. You don't want to do that, all right? I just want you to think about it. Imagine what those last 4 or 5 posts look like. Like, literally think about them. I want you to visualize them. I want you to see them. I want you to remember, what did it say, right? I want you to think about that. So, like, maybe it was a picture, right? Maybe you posted a picture. So what picture did you post? What is one of the last pictures that you posted on social media? Maybe that's you. Maybe you're a picture person. Or video. Maybe it was a video for you. Maybe you've posted a video or 2 over the last 4 or 5 days. So what video did you share? Or maybe you're just more of like a words person. You just posted some type of words. Maybe you posted on Twitter or something like that. What were the words that you used? What were the words that you posted on that particular post? I want you to think about those things. All right. Now that you have an image of those in your mind, you're focused on those pictures, those videos, and those words that you used on your social media post. I want to say this to you. Congratulations. That's right. Congratulations. That is the legacy that you have left in this last week. That's your legacy. So if by chance, and let's hope this doesn't happen, and the odds are that it won't. So we're good there. Odds are that it won't. But if by chance you were to die tomorrow and your tombstone was written by someone who only knows you in the last week, they only know you by those posts, what would they write about you? If the person who wrote on your tombstone only knew you by those 4 or 5 posts that you were just thinking about, what would they write about you? And now I want to follow that question up with, would you be proud to be remembered that way? Whatever the answer to that question was, whatever it is that they would write on your tombstone based on your last 4 or 5 social media posts, would you be proud to be remembered that way? Like, would it say, and I'm not saying any of these are wrong or right, just so you know, I'm just going to list out a few. Would it say that, would the tombstone say you were a conspiracy theory whistleblower type person? Is that what the tombstone would say? Or would your tombstone say that maybe you faked and put filters and did things like that to ultimately get more likes on the post? Is that what they would say on your tombstone? Would it say that you're a car salesman? Like, is that what it would say? It would say, here lies John, he was a car salesman. Right? Would it say that? Or maybe it would say, like, here lies Melissa, she was in network marketing, right? Maybe it says that. And don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying any of these things are wrong or right. I just am asking the question this morning. I just want you to do this experiment with me and go ahead and drop it in the comments what you think they would write on your tombstone based on your last 4 or 5 posts. And then the real question is, would you be proud of that? You see, here's what's interesting. 2021 is unlike any year before it, right? It is unlike any year before it. We are we are very, I call it interesting. I think that's the word I'm really looking for. We are interestingly connected in unique ways that we never were before. From social platforms that you all know and love to newer platforms like Clubhouse, that is an audio only connection, unlike anything else that we've ever experienced before, to having a unified threat against all of civilization. Like in my lifetime, I don't know of any other time where the entire world shared the exact same threat. I don't know of any time before that. Maybe when I was little or something, but I don't know of one. To me, this is a very unique situation that we are in, unlike anything I've ever seen or anything I've ever experienced. And because of that, we've actually been given an opportunity to no longer just make a local impact, which is the way things used to be. We could make an impact locally. We could make an impact on our community. We could make an impact on our neighborhood. But now here in 2021, we actually have the ability to make a global impact. Right? You have the ability through social media, which is free. Everybody's got it. You have the ability through social media and other similar channels with technology today to make a global impact that ultimately could make a difference, not just in this generation, but for generations to come. And that's what we're going to dive into here today. We're going to dive into global generational impact. But before we do, you know what we got to do. That's right. Before we do, we got to do some dancing, my friends. We got to do some dancing. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where we get that body moving. Let's go. Let's get that body moving. I need you to get that heart rate up a little bit. Get the blood pumping. You see, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. It's time for you to get going. Let's go. If you're working out, pick it up a notch. Come on. You got a little bit more in you. I believe in you. You do. You do. If you're lifting some weights, come on, give me some more. Let's go. If you're just rolling out of bed, jumping jacks, push-ups, something. Let's get rocking and rolling. And I want to see you dancing in the streets, wherever you are, dancing around your house, dancing in the streets. Let's get it rocking and rolling. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay or you're listening to the podcast or you're over on YouTube or whatever, I want to connect with you. So say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. I spend time every single day making sure to go back and connect with everyone that connects with me. So good morning, J.R. White. Great to see you. How you doing, Danielle Rose? Great to see you as well. What's up, Sarah Ball? We got Kim Fair in the house. Mandy Housley is up in here. Tabitha Walls, Mike Romano, Mrs. Pam Woosley. What's up, Tamika Anderson? #1 bestseller, Tamika Anderson. We got Jama Newhoff is in the house. Ray Hatcher's up in here as well. I also see The Fool and John Lee, my man John Lee. What's up, John Lee? Great to see you this morning. We've also got I Am Stars Tina. Hey, John Lee, if you want to see the full production of Rise and Grind, you can go to Official Glenn Lundy on Facebook, and you can see all of it, bro. We've got full B-roll, different camera angles, the whole thing. All right. I also see my man Ashley is over there on Instagram. Yeah, there's John Lee. And then I see Fool Around the World. What's up, brother? Appreciate you. I also see Minchels. Now, when I look over here on Clubhouse, oh my God, Clubhouse is always blown out with all kinds of folks. Of course, on the stage is my man Darian and Kayvon and Lauren and Samantha and Sarah from Ireland. And we've got Nathaniel and Jay Lisa's up in here, Katrina and Teddy Wan, Elliot and Justin. And then as we move our way around the breakfast table, we've got Belle and Monica and Ivy and Christina and Tyler and Taylor and Melissa and Lynn and Brandy and Ted Jackson. I also see Wilman and Michaela and Paul and Nicole. All these folks up on Clubhouse. It's amazing to spend my morning with you. So amazing. And if you're like, who is this guy that's yelling at me first thing in the morning? My name is Glenn Lundy. I'm a husband to one, a father to 8, and the host of hashtag Rise and Grind. I also created the Rise and Grind group on Facebook. It's over 31,000 members, and the only place on the internet where I can guarantee you'll get nothing but motivation, education, and inspiration. We don't believe in any of that other stuff. That's right, John Lee. We're going to be doing that interview the 16th, I think it is, or the 11th maybe. I don't know. We're doing an interview though. Super excited. So make sure you join that group. Also, I am the founder of Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse, where we get together Monday through Saturday for motivation, education, inspiration, and your opportunity to get a seat at the table to learn from those that are maybe doing some of the things you wish you could do, or that have reached some of the levels you wish you could reach. So that's who I am. I love getting to know more about who you are. So let's dive in this week's series, Next Generation Impact. And today we're talking about how you can make a global impact that'll make an impact for generations to come. On July 10th, that's right, maybe that's one of your birthdays. On July 10th, 1962, the U.S. Patent Office issued a patent to Niels Bohlin for the 3-point seatbelt. You guys know the 3-point seatbelt, the one that you use, right? The one that you grab and you pull across and you plug it in. It's got the harness across your chest, and then it's got another belt that goes across your lap. That's the 3-point seatbelt. And so he received a patent for this on July 10th, 1962. My man Niels did. And prior to that, for those of you that didn't exist back then, which I didn't live back then, but I kind of remember some of the cars going forward. Prior to that, the good old lap belt was all you got. If you got anything at all. If you got anything at all. A lot of cars just didn't even have anything. But the good old lap belt was all you got prior to the 3-point harness. And what was interesting is more people actually got injured by the belt itself than there were people's lives that belt saved. It saved a few lives, no doubt. But it hurt a lot of people. Crazy. That lap belt sure was. So then Niels shows up, right? Niels shows up and he's got this 3-point harness seat belt that slows down the impact, that holds up the top of your body as well as the bottom of your body. So it's not just you like getting ripped in half in the middle. He creates this 3-point seat belt and saves literally millions of lives. Millions of lives that are saved, which if you think about it, and here's how my brain works. When you think about those millions of lives that are saved, like those millions of people went on to do additional things in their life, right? They didn't die in the car wreck. Instead, they went out and met a girl or a boy, and then they had a baby, and then that baby has babies, and the babies have babies and babies and babies and babies. I always think about the generational impact of the decision. So Niels made a decision to create a 3-point seatbelt that saved millions of lives that ultimately created new life. And those new lives created things, products, ideas, concepts, stories, and experiences that ultimately have impacted us all these years later. Isn't that cool? Niels made a global, generational impact. that will continue to make an impact for generations to come. The work that he did then ultimately affects us all now. Now, there are many more people. Somebody just put in the comment, the only seatbelt they had was mom's arm across their chest, right? I feel you on that, right? You're like, I got you, right? We get superhuman in that situation. That's funny. Listen, Neil's actions then made a global impact now. And there are many more like this. Obviously, there's the obvious ones like the Albert Einstein and the Martin Luther King and the disciples and Jesus from the Bible, right? The Paul, Luke's, and John's and Matthew's of the world. Of course, there's the Oprah Winfrey's. And then you have the people like Shaka was talking about yesterday in Clubhouse, the Helen Kellers and the Harriet Tubmans, right? Those are all the obvious ones. Their actions then make a global impact now. It's generational. For example, right now you can see my face. If you're watching on Instagram or you're watching on Facebook, you can literally see my face. And I have these lights that are over here to make sure that my face looks good, right? I got these lights to make sure that my skin tone and my complexion is pleasing. I've got lights that do that. So those lights that allow you to see me right now, we have to say thank you to my man, Thomas Edison. See, due to Mr. Edison and his invention and his dream and his desire and him executing on that, then it's made a global impact now. And then we also have to give a second thank you. We have to give a second thank you out to my man, Johann Zahn, that invented the camera so that we could have this experience here on Facebook, this live interaction, so that we can capture pictures and photos and videos that we can ultimately put on our social media. We got to give a shout out to Johan. We got to say thank you, bro. Your actions then have made a global impact now. So now let's fast forward. I want to fast forward about 30 years into the future, all right? Right now we're in 2021. Hi, Molly. Thanks for joining on Insta. We're in 2021. I want to fast forward 30 years. We're in 2051. What kind of global generational impact could you possibly make? You see, 2021 has afforded us a luxury like never before. You literally have access to the entire world. You do. You have access to the entire world. You have the opportunity to share your unique message in a way that could make an impact on generations of people around the globe. Your story, your words, your ideas, your products, like the things that only you can bring to the table. It all exists right now. The opportunity is there. The question is, will you take it? And more importantly, will you take it seriously? You see, too many times people are worried about things being perfect. They're worried about sharing their flaws or sharing their story, sharing their failures. They're worried about not looking right or the lighting's wrong or their makeup, or they're worried about what people are going to say or what people are going to think. And so I just want to breathe this into you today. There was a quote that I mentioned at the very beginning of the show that was submitted by a wonderful human by the name of Suzanne Wall. And the quote says this: if you stumble, make it a part of the dance. Because see, what you have to understand is that it doesn't have to be perfect. The way you tell the story doesn't have to be perfect. The photo doesn't have to be perfect. The video doesn't have to be perfect. The lighting doesn't have to be perfect. None of that has to be perfect. You know why? Because you already are. You see, you are already perfect, uniquely made, with a gift that ultimately, if you were to share your gift and your uniqueness and your story of who you are, if you were to do that, ultimately it could make a global, generational impact. And when you do that, when you share your truths, where you share who you are, it motivates others, it educates others, it inspires others. And if you were to go down, God forbid, sooner than you thought, and people were to look back at what you contributed to the world, I can promise you, it is something that you would be proud of. It is something that you would be so incredibly proud of. Listen, friends, I'm a student. I study anything and everything. I study it all. I want to learn what I don't like as well as I want to learn what I like. And there's one book that I studied, and I've studied quite a bit, and I'm studying even more now, and it's the #1 best-selling book of all time. It's called the Bible. And no matter what your religious beliefs are, this book has been sold 3.6 billion times around this planet. 3.6 billion times, and has ultimately made a global generational impact thousands of years later. Still making a global generational impact every single day. This was a book that was painstakingly put together, that was written by multiple people over hundreds of years, so that it could ultimately be distributed in the way that it is now to be able to make the impact that it has. You can get the same reach, if not further, in your pajamas, in your air-conditioned house with your ADT security system, by simply pushing a button. You have the opportunity as a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. You have an opportunity to truly go out there and make a difference. So I challenge you to take that seriously, because your decision to do so matters. It matters. It makes an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. Shoot, you showing up here today has made an impact on me. Whether you're on Insta or checking out the podcast later, you download that. You're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, dropping in comments. You're on Clubhouse, hitting the plus sign and bringing people into the room. You just showing up today and making that choice has made an impact on my life. So I guarantee you, if you choose to show up for the world, it'll make an impact on many, many more. Listen, my friend, I want you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. The best version. Because when you're the best, that's when it makes the biggest impact. So listen, I love you. I'm cheering for you. I do. If no one's ever told you this before, or no one's told you this before yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So make the choice to go out there and make an impact. The world needs more of what you've got. Beautiful, beautiful. Fair enough? Fair enough. Let's go. That's it. If you need more videos like this, you can go to GlennLundy.com. That's right. Go to GlennLundy.com. We've got tons of videos, all kinds of ways that you can connect. You can do that. If you want to talk about this particular subject, you want to talk about this show, you want to ask questions and get involved in a discussion, then come join me over on Clubhouse. I'm going to go over there right now. We're in the Breakfast with Champions room on Clubhouse. Come hang out. We're going to discuss it. It'll be super, super fun. And we got all kinds of stuff today. Danelle Delgado a little bit later. Liza Myers-Borges is going to be dropping in. Trevor Houston's dropping in today. All kinds of folks. It's going to be amazing. So make sure you come join us over there on Clubhouse if you can. Otherwise, I'll be back here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. and we can do this all over again on #RiseAndGrind. Have an incredible day today. See ya!